The death of famous people causes in the society of a shock, and the mysterious death of celebrities haunts people many years. And today we will consider 5 mysterious deaths of celebrities. Let's roll! Yury Gagarin was lost on March 27, 1968 during training flight together with the test pilot Vladimir Serogin. The official version sounds so. The plane entered deadly dive after sharp maneuver which pilots made, evading from collision with the meteorological probe. Many say that Gagarin was lost not on March 27 and in 3 weeks before in attempt to fly about the moon by the ship Probe 4, and the management USSR thought up history with accident of the plane to hide a failure of the lunar program. The second version is by 1968, Gagarin, under pressure of unknown glory from the poster Komsomol member, turned into the fop, the ladies' man and the drunkard. The Soviet management decided to get rid of it, not to be dishonored before world community. Already at the final stage, Leonid Brezhnev ordered to terminate a crash investigation that not to excite the Soviet people. The most part of case papers makes 29 volumes and is still secret. And in general, the plane was serviceable, pilots are sober, the flight task didn't represent special complexity. How not to doubt what this history something not so? The Princess Diana was popular around the world. She was known as the spouse Prince Charles. She got to tragic road accident in the tunnel Elma in Paris. The death of the charming Princess Diana is shrouded a set of secrets and riddles. Many people are convinced that Lady Di not simply died in a automobile road accident. Her death was necessary for the British monarchy. All this was arranged. At that time, while the official version blames for the entire careless driver, many people assume involvement of the British Special Services in Diana's death. There is a version that Diana, during accident, was pregnant from the boyfriend of Dodi Fayed, and it cast a shadow on a monarchy. It was meant that the royal family won't suffer a gap with Charles, and then the child Fayed's birth. John Lennon was killed in 1980. The murderer Mark David Chapman was right there arrested. He was completely sane, but on a question whether he understands whom killed, Mark answered, "Yes, it is John Lennon, and what?" Despite that Chapman admitted commission of crime and it was condemned, there are people who are convinced that he didn't do it. Some claim that he was inspired by Salinger's work The Catcher in the Rye. It is only an iceberg top. However, there are also those who it is obsessed, are convinced that Chapman has nothing in common with Lennon and his murder. There is a theory proceeding from which the person writing the book about the last days of Lennon, Robert Rosen, and bears responsibility for a crime. Rosen fabricated proofs and found witnesses which were helped to be involved in Chapman's crime. Lennon's death made the author of the book well known and allowed to sell the biggest circulation of works. Proceeding from other theory, John's murder was favorable to CIA, as Lennon was the ardent opponent of war in Vietnam and the American foreign policy. On August 16, 1977, the body of the 42-year-old king of rock and roll, Elvis Presley, was found on a floor in a bathroom in the estate Graceland. He was found by the girlfriend Presley of Ginger Alden. Officially, Elvis died of sharp heart failure owing to overdose of the soothing and anesthetizing preparations. According to skeptics, the musician got tired and started getting out of shape. And dramatized the death quietly to stretch the rest of days in one of the warm countries. Investigation of death of Presley was for some reason made in secret mode. The only photo of his body was on the internet and it is most likely a fake. That is, the dead none of skeptics didn't see him. 2 hours later, after the official announcement of death of the singer, one of the admirers allegedly took from him the autograph at the airport of Memphis. Examination allegedly showed authenticity of this signature. On November 22, 1963, making visit to Dallas, the state of Texas, John Fitzgerald Kennedy was killed from a sniper rifle in the open limousine on one of the central city streets. There is a lot of theories of plot around John Kennedy's death that some even write about in books. Questions of a trajectory of flight of a bullet, a rifle, and other don't cease and today. Some assume that murder of the president was favorably organized crime, while others say that the scenario of murder was written in CIA. Lyndon Johnson, the vice president Kennedy, is also suspected of murder. There is also an assumption that Oswald went to a crime not one, and other people also were involved in business. Irrespective of all theories, Lee Harvey Oswald still is considered the murderer of the head of the American government. It is interesting that some polls over the past few years showed that most of Americans still think that in Kennedy's death is needed not only Oswald. Well, on it all, if it was pleasant, a finger up. Bye.